as seen by upwards of a dozen people. It's Sanctuary of Reality, my comic review series. Let's jump right into Church and State, Chapter 25, in Cerebus, Issue 76, Varying Reasons of Assorted Deaths. As the Demon Skull Tower Mountain subtly grows without anyone noticing, Bishop Powers prays for President Weishaupt to finally croak. Speaking of which, Weishaupt sends a carriage to Cerebus, offering to tell him important information about the end of the world. This stirs the Earth Pig out of his post-Jaka funk and back into most holy garb. He visits Weishaupt, finding him physically gaunt and frail from his recent heart attack. The dying president warns him of the danger of being consumed by his power, and accuses Cerebus of still being a Republican controlled by Astoria. He denies it, but Weishaupt isn't convinced, though he still wants to help him. He warns Cerebus that despite his great power as Pope, he can in fact be stopped. When Cerebus asks by whom, Weishaupt reveals that there are two other aardvarks in Astarsion. Most Holy demands to know where they are, but the president remains tight-lipped. The two exchange put-downs throughout their conversations, though Weishaupt's are pretty long-winded and wordy compared to the stuff like Cerebus flat-out calling him a loser. Cerebus asks him at last about why Captain Cockroach warned him not to stare at his ankle back in issue 21. It seems the bug got confused, no surprise there, and it was Weishaupt's uncle he shouldn't stare at, as his uncle is the original Suentius Poe. Finally, the conversation reaches its climax as another attack begins to take Weishaupt. What will be his deathbed revelation? And will Most Holy learn who the other two aardvarks are? The two other aardvarks mystery begins here. Should I tell you when they'll be revealed? Nah. I will say that they're not entirely new characters. What does that mean? Well, keep reading and you will understand in the end. Not the end. I mean, you don't have to wait till the end of the series to find out who they are, but it's coming very soon. Just your patience will be rewarded. I have to say, I'm going to miss Weishaupt. He might not have been extraordinary, but he was definitely someone who knew how to make things happen. In his honor, let's start a write-in campaign for Adam Weishaupt for the 2016 election for President of the United States. Okay, maybe not. Voting for the GOAT, anyway. Look for a memorial of sorts to Weishaupt in issue 83. This is a good issue. It's just a bit frustrating in all the things that are not answered. Weishaupt leaves us with more questions than we had to begin with. This one actually dealt with death in a way that will be touched upon again. The storyline Melmoth will later take the subject on in far more detail. And of course, spoiler warning, issue 300 will also deal with it. But this is a nice precursor to that. It's sort of the first time out dealing with death head on, and it's something that the book will take on again, as I said. So this is an interesting first dipping of the toe into the subject. I mean, we've had characters die before and get killed, but this is the first time really it's been a character that we know and passing on. Next time, it's all a dream.